Suffer that was Mama. So Muti, the Punch TV. The Punch TV. We are there at Tojan the Somo. And Nano Ukwada Omampani Nanado Donko Kufuado. And then I bet it about me and day. Sakramuba Aswafo Numu. We will be at the Nini Pablo. Our NDC. I was well gone. I was so west well gone. Mabunu Nafa. Na say Mabunu no leader and about opinion of that Omano. Actually, my NPP for say 2024 election no. And into now I'm de record the call interior ministry there. So omuni omdo musaka omuni pa ba kwa omzudo omusabeka nipa 9. Profuni can say if they don't know and they touch 4 people, sorry, if they don't know and they touch 1, we shall touch 4. So mabwa mo enomna because munu not waso then di ma they have omuchocho penny fifi kwete so betuja nyama 9 anunti Baumia and I say Mampanya be Baumia, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia onye no kwafo bonifren faithful and loyal ni nsem ya okeka utandro minti ni omake.
Baumia, you know what? We see your game and we are not going to be fooled by it.
Audrey, he's taking such a person there. But I am assuring him, sir, in 2024, 7th December, if they touch 1, we will touch 4.
Fantastic.
It's in the memo behind Adrian say, Sabe, their course, so no, Sabe, they already call, but they are Canadian, but mobile. Oshe, Obis upon it takes time. But Oshe, Nipana, you Obis and Ricotta, and then Aqua Interior, like clearly. Akufo-Addo is sending a message to you and I say the elections he tends to be very violent. You know, do it say Ricotta. Because of him, Ricotta, and how he behaves. Say AM holding the constituency. I also central. Everybody knows his thinking. Emra, Omudi is him who also was going. He was deputy minister for interior, and he featured prominently in almost detailing. Rascals. They say Omombra no made this answer who know I also west. No, it's clearly. It tells you a certain thing now. Henry Kote must tell us his role in Ayasu West Ugon and assure the people of Ghana. They are signing social contracts there in 2024 in Simhubi and Webekoso, so that if anything happens as Minister for Interior, we hold him responsible and accountable. So that's as a Zuba to the own converting BAB. Let me say Interior, sir. Menoka say, Unim police officers are almost steady leave. A question idea by your promotion at Naso. Ambuzeri and Yamo and even crack of course. But my main fact when you're tsunami assure people of the Ghana Police Service, Obi Biara was so many people comment say the reshuffle is late in the day. Rightly so. Late in the day. But it is also communicating a certain message. And you know, those of us who sit as national officers and people with a responsibility of making sure that be winning elections and NDC, you know. The more we should take our time and analyze the reshuffle critically. In general and in a broader context, it is late in the day because finance was saying ship not sinking that. You know my ye.
I say agree.
And say what's now by paying to be successful or to be able to implement any key policies as a minister. We hear a minimum of 5 to 6 months. For you to acclimatize, in the cost ministry, what passo, what just steadily, what could because most of them today, from the IGP to the last person, they all went through that same channel. And they came back for their promotions. May I assure me say, whatever it takes, now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Babeye, the next president of this country. Baby, all my appointments, baby, all my promotions. Shebiano, under a responsible government of John Dramani Mahama, anybody our meeting requirements now qualify no promotion international, and this goes to our friends in the Ghana Police Force. It is a Henry Cote na about the one diligently.
So can post for no.
That year some Ghana.
Call Ghana Immigration Services. So
rent
a year allowance. Mama de mom. Prison for so complaining. Omo barracks. Yeton Ediama a year ubi or a cantonment here.
Oh, prisons and Omaton did that.
Fantastic.
Omatons are prisons for barracks did that.
Yo.
Until Omina, ya sure whatever it takes, you buy your best mom. Until Omun come and so on.
Do you say
for this reason for easy, I don't sit in parliament. And I think our MPs have a lot of work to do. Because most of these people already deputy in some way. And so the MPs at the vetting committee level, for instance, Okuboy, he must tell us the state of health insurance and the national home ministry.
There's more rejected especially the interior
they call works and housing now. I don't know what exactly he's going to do. But some changes, the business and Subachi, roads and highways, injury time, also it works and housing. Apart from that, there is no justification. But there are some other key areas where I want to say you pay attention. It'll be so cool boy. He's an effective operator. Until cool boy then they call because as we speak now, health insurance is in a mess. Exactly. The Ministry of Health nkansah, there are too many problems and challenges. We share the cost for Kolebu Renal Center. Anyhow, our health system, agenda 111, no more into la polyclinic, so many issues. But we should find out. It's a COSA. And now that Ken Oforiatta finally okay. The question I asked is so if you could have reshuffled Ken Oforiatta right from the word go. The W say he's untouchable. But if you could have done it, why didn't you save Ghana? I didn't want to drink Ghana. Because you see, after SADD, domestic debt exchange program, and then I met some very responsible young investors. They were hardly hit by Sabon. You know, you guys say, will be craft sovereign guarantee. States need to mean any the Jinachi. The states no na edge usika, another usika Bobo Sama states now. It brings you some comfort. You know that for us as a country, for the next 30 years, that confidence na for states nimo say talk government bond it's lost. And that was another chance. Oko Kenya I know how they finance government projects. So almost a highway we are. Normal funding no through bond. Normal toll, normal the Agio Musica, and then they pay off the. So Kenya, even though goes to IMF, no World Bank, no, they raise most of their funds locally. And a lot of African countries have used that model. Unfortunately, we've lost that opportunity. And the sad aspect in Pune is that you could have negotiated right from the word go with this bondholders. But the arrogance of Ken Oforiatta and how he carried himself in a run up to it, finally had to go and renegotiate. For you to see, you're better not so. Master, no one for says he can't income. And you see, for you to see people like Sophia Kufu, former Chief Justice, who everybody knows their affiliation with the NPP.
On the street.
On the streets. Now, Bibiakame. So I sit back and ask myself, how long is it going to take Ghana to recover from the mess of one man? If I'm not mistaken, in 2017.
Ghanaian people cannot live through another day of these suffocating taxes, let alone 10 good months. The time to scrap the crippling and draconian taxes that the NPP has imposed on suffering Ghanaians is now and not in the next 10 months. How is it possible to trust a vice president who has shown no remorse or penitence about deliberately lying and conning the people of Ghana? A man who believes that leaders can continue to fool all the people all the time. A man whose words cannot be trusted is a man who is not fit to lead. Who among you will entrust his business in the hands of a man who cannot be trusted, to tell the truth? Who among you will entrust his private property or business into such a hand? Imagine, therefore, the greater tragedy of committing Ghana and her 30 million of citizens and her future into the hands of a man whose words are worth very little and who does not understand the meaning of credibility and trustworthiness. 4. Gratitude deficits. A true leader acknowledges the contributions of his predecessors. True leaders understand that leadership is like a relay race, and he or she builds the new, acknowledging and appreciating what contribution was handed over to him. Mills Mahama-led NDC acknowledged that the N1 highway was the accomplishment of the Kufuor-led NPP, even though the entire work was virtually done during the tenure of Mills Mahama. Mills Mahama-led NDC similarly did not take any credit for the building of the Bui Dam, even though the administration even borrowed additional money to see to the completion of the Bui Dam project. When eventually the Bui Dam was being commissioned, President Kufuor was invited and duly acknowledged as a leader whose government secured the finance for the dam. This gratitude is a mark of a secure leader. Unfortunately, Dr. Bawumia has a massive gratitude deficit. Now, it takes somebody who does not show gratitude to claim that the Tema to Akonsobo, now Mpakadan rail line, is the achievement of the NPP government, when all records show that the financing was secured in 2016. At the time I was in charge of the transport ministry, 1 whole year before Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia came into office. Cabinets and parliamentary approvals were also finalized before John Mahama left office in January of 2017. 2, it shows somebody who does not show gratitude to claim that Dumsor was not resolved before the coming of the NPP in 2017. When Bawumia himself publicly declared that John Mahama should not unduly celebrate for solving the energy crisis because he was the one who brought it in the first place. Nana Poku of the NPP, he stood in the flag bearer race of the NPP, who also is into energy, has publicly also stated that it was the JM-led NDC that solved the problem of Dumsor. Yet, somebody who today is showing such ingratitude and doesn't want to acknowledge that this is the work that has been done by the predecessor. To claim that the NPP government introduced the online passport application system, when the truth is that the online application system was launched under John Mahama in December 2016. It takes somebody who does not show gratitude to claim that the card was nothing to write home about until January 7, 2017. Dr. Bawumia deliberately ignored the significant contributions of the NDC Mahama administration in developing the Ghana card system to what it is today. The fact that by 2016, the Mahama administration had already passed the law that makes the Ghana card the sole document for identification purposes for any transaction as the LI 2111. The government at the time had made sure that biometric and demographic data had already been collected on about 16 million Ghanaians. We had processed about 4.7 million cards, distributed about 900,000 cards, and procured 9 million blank cards. Upon assumption of office in 2017, Dr. Bawumia constituted a 3-man committee headed by Prof. Ken Atefua to review the contract and implementation of the Ghana card system. The committee established the facts enumerated above, which is contained on page 1 of the report, and recommended the use of the existing database to continue where the NDC left off. Indeed, the NIA boss, Prof. Ken Atefua, told Parliament that the contract that was signed by the NDC Mahama administration with the Margins Group is the same contract that is being implemented today. Yet, somebody suffering from such massive gratitude deficit refuses to acknowledge this job that has been done by the predecessor. Clearly, this government only came to continue the implementation of a system that had already been developed by the NDC Mahama government as a continuation of what was started under President Kufuor and continued by President Mills of blessed memory. The Ghana card credit must therefore be shared by all successive governments who have contributed to where we are today. Bawumia does not even credit his boss, Akufo-Addo, even though he's in disguise just a third term of Nana Akufo-Addo. But we need to still call him out for trying to play a fast one on the nation, by conveniently throwing his boss under the bus. But Bawumia, you know what? We see your game, and we are not going to be fooled by it.
Well, that was the General Secretary of the NDC.